Hello everyone, it's Old Guardian here. Now after the balance changes, Frost Death Knight has become one of the main meta decks, and when looking through the lists and looking at the performance of individual cards in those lists, I noticed that it's actually pretty easy to make a budget version of Frost Death Knight. Well, budget and budget, there are some considerations. First of all, most Frost Death Knight cards come from Path of Arthas, and you cannot get any Path of Arthas cards from packs, so either you have to buy Path of Arthas for 2000 gold, or you have to craft each of them that you need individually. And in order to build this one, this is now a budget version of the list, you would have to craft 12 commons and 2 rares, so that's 680 dust. And here, crafting those commons, that does hurt. On the other hand, 680 dust is still considerably less than 2000 gold, although I would recommend buying Path of Arthas if you are a budget player and you can afford the 2000 gold. This version of the deck is also making use of 2 copies of School Teacher. School Teacher was available for free from Castle Natria rewards track, but if you didn't play during Castle Natria, then you don't have those School Teachers. So School Teachers could be replaced in this deck, they are not mandatory. So one card that I would probably use would be Blood Mage Talnos. I first overlooked Blood Mage Talnos, but the more I think about it, then maybe Blood Mage Talnos actually should be included in the list. Maybe it should be included anyway. Maybe ripping one School Teacher out of the list and putting Blood Mage Talnos in would actually be an improvement. That's something that would need more testing to verify. As for the other School Teacher, something like a Venomous Scorpion, a card that discovers spells, could easily do. So overall, in the end, you can actually build a Frost Death Knight deck pretty cheaply. Then, if you actually invest in that Path of Arthas, you buy that, then you get Lady Deathwhisper and you get Frostworm's Fury. Lady Deathwhisper is used in many of these Frost Death Knight decks, but it's actually not necessary, and typically it's pretty clunky. I expect that its usage is going to go down. Frostworm's Fury, there's 2 alternatives with Frostworm's Fury. One is that, okay, it's pretty decent, but on the other hand, it's also a 7-mana card, so you might want to be more aggressive than Frostworm's Fury would warrant, which is the whole point why budget version of this can work if you don't have Path of Arthas. But ripping the School Teachers out, replacing them with Frostworm's Fury is another viable way. So one way to build almost like a full cost version of this would be to cut the School Teachers, maybe got 1 copy of Ryan Fang's Sword, put in the Frostworm's Furies, put in a Blood Mage Talnos. That would be one alternative on how to build this deck. But yeah, playing with this on a budget is totally doable. It's a fairly aggressive deck, so what you want to do, you want to get on the board with your 1-drops. So in the mulligan you're looking for your Ymir Frostbreakers, you're looking for your Vicious Slither Spears. If you're playing a bit more defensively, something that plays stuff early on, then Bonebreaker is an excellent card because it also goes face when you remove stuff with that. Then you want to get a little bit aggressive with these, start to get some of those cards in your hands, and work towards some big turns where you use some frost spells, preferably with your Death Chillers, and just deal a bunch of damage. So you're playing a pretty aggressive, pretty bursty, pretty burn-oriented deck, which is also the kind of deck that you usually want to play on a budget, because you don't want games to go too long. Games that go long are typically bad for budget decks, because budget decks just don't have the longevity. And this is what it all looks like in action. Let's see how it goes. Kind of hoping to top deck a Frost spell here, which would make this a 1-mana 3/2. Which would be an interesting experience. That is not a Frost spell though, which means that we're probably just going to open up with Slither Spear. Because Slither Spear can then be buffed as needed. I still have the Bonebreaker here. Yep, this is looking good. Because now I can use the Bonebreaker. And I can play the Ymir. Yes. Bonebreaker kills that one. And this gets to go to the dome. And we got the 3/2 on the board. Hi, Alexiger. Good evening. So it's a big spell mage. Mailbox Dancer is one of the best cards they can have. Is that going to be enough? Possibly. But freeze was pretty good. But I can get some more bodies on this board here. With this and with this. So I can attack with this one. Then it turns the end of turn, but it's also there to bait the Death Rattle potentially. So the Death Rattle is unlikely to actually hit the Ymir. And I managed to get the Death Rattle bait there. That was beautiful. Alright, so far so good. Still going to VS Data Reaper. Oh yeah, they published that today. I haven't checked it out. Alright. That's fine. But then they concede, alright. And good evening, Fantasy Camp. I had some pretty nice things going there. And your MMR, by the way, does... They have run quite severe normalization passes over like the past... year. Because I didn't play on NA for almost a year. And I went from X10 to X5 without playing. So I could not have lost the MMR by losing games because I didn't play any games. So I couldn't lose. But just by not playing for an extended period of time. The gauge is for you to get back to Legend. Well, it depends. I mean, typically you do that over multiple months, because like if you play well, your multiplier shoots up, and then next month it's so much easier. So that's the typical path. This double Horn of Winter is not very useful right now, but I have the Frigidara. But I have the Sarian, so we have some tools to work with here. Might end up using one Horn of Winter. No, actually that's a 4/4, I can't. No, it's just Tessarian here. Let's see. I was trying to get my NA account up to date. Yeah, like, typically 1 month. 1 month can be pretty hard. But the second month should be a lot easier. Because you win with a good rate. And then after that, that means that you're going to get to higher MMR and higher multiplier. Like, seriously. Oh well. I guess I want to kill these. I think we're just doing a Remorseless Winter here. Into a Bonebreaker and hit phase. You know, first month I got 10x. Yeah, I mean, that's what I mean. You don't even have to play all the way to Legend. Just win some games with a high win rate. I'm going to kill these two. Just watch me. Just watch me. Because we're going to open with the Death Chiller. And after that, we're going to Horn of Winter. So we can get Frigidara out there. And now we're dealing a bunch of AoE damage. And then we're going to Horn of Winter again. And I'm probably going to Frost Strike. Do I Frost Strike my Death Chiller? No, that doesn't make sense, right? I think that doesn't make sense. I think we just do Emerjar. And hit some phase again. Alright, let's do it like this. It gives the rogue plenty of targets. Can you get 11 without hitting Legend? Yes, yes you can. Although typically, if you start from scratch, it's kind of hard to do. Whoa! That was a surprise. Do need to be frost striking here a little. I could glacial advance this. Hit frost strike. Yeah, this works, right? I just glacial advance this one down. Glacial advance that one down. Hit into this and frost strike this one down. And that gives me probably another glacial advance. But I won't use that one now because I'm using the Rarran sword to kill this, so that that one gets to go face. So up to 7 damage here. We'll need a little bit more. What school teacher is likely to give me a little bit more? Oh! But now I can just replay Frigidara. So these are going to die anyway. It's not all bad. It's perfectly fine, I believe. We'll just do this again. Do I have lethal? 14 damage. 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. No lethal even in the best case scenario. Which means setting up the Frostbreaker. And setting up the Slither Spear. And hitting face with the weapon. What do you think about the Prince nerf? I wrote an article about that for Hearthstone Top Decks. You can find it there. I can't get you a link right now, because I'm streaming, but I just wrote about it this week. Quite extensively. Sadly, this can't go face. That's still enough damage, most likely. I think we're getting there. But we'll see. I mean, Rogue has 9 mana and 9 cards. Who knows? They have Immortalized in Stone. That's a pretty big taunt wall. And then a Concoction on top. No Concoction on top. So, let me see. 4, 7... I have 9 damage, but I would need 12. I feel like there has to be a solution here somewhere. I feel like there has to be a solution, but I can't figure it out right now. Well, it works like that, and then I also had these clearing the minions and then a weapon going face. If I didn't find the damage otherwise, so yeah. That worked alright. All of this is so extremely strange. Like... that can be a problem. I might not be able to get material. So I want to start hitting because I have the Rarran sword coming. And right now I don't have another play for 3, so... here we go. Now I have another play for 3, and that's a preferable play, so now I will not swing again. It's also an undead, so if the priest happens to kill it for some reason, then I will get the discount from Vizier. But even without the discounts, it's completely fine. What is this stuff? This is miserable. This is miserable stuff.
Shatter their bones.
I think I want to hit now, because there's a high likelihood that I want to Rime Fang, swing with the Rime Fang. It will discount a spell that I can use. Maybe. We'll see. Maybe not. Quest and switcheroo.
Shatter their bones.
I mean, I think we're doing this. This works, right? Now we have a 4/5 here. That doesn't die at the end of the turn. We'll get more pressure on. And that 4 mana priest, I mean, it's 11 held on this board. Priest should have great difficulties trying to clear this.
Light cannot exist without dark.
And we're going to Glacial Advance into Howling Blast, I suppose. Can't quite get the Rime Fang out there now. And the alternative is to Rime Fang Hero Power, sacrifice the Harbinger. That's actually not bad. That's actually not bad. We can sacrifice the Harbinger. So then we still get to push 6 to the dome. And get a discount. 6 mana next turn. Open with this. Still not enough for Winter Blast. It is actually because of the Rime Fang hit. So I can have 7, 9, 11 damage here. Would still need more. And Priest is not going to sit idly by. But this was pretty hilarious, this monstrosity, hero power monstrosity. Monstrosity is an awful card, of course. But sometimes using those random generated cards can result in interesting outcomes.
Light cannot exist without dark.
Okay, so Rime Fang hit. That's 3, another 3. But only if I hit... Alright, so Rime Fang hit opens. Like this. Then we have the Glacial Advance. Into Remorseless Winter. Into Howling Blast. Into hit lethal. There. And that was going to happen regardless of which card was going to be discounted. Any card that the Rime Fang could hit would always enable the lethal. I might even try with this. I would of course need to get some frost spells, but this doesn't sound too bad. If I don't take a frost spell here, I might even open with the Frost Breaker. If I don't, then we can still open with the Slither Spear. We get another chance to top deck a frost spell. Oh, that's a Beast Hunter. That's a frost spell. Have to use it immediately. Sure, they will get to kill the Ymir Jar, but it's acceptable. They've already spent the coin, so they're not going to have another great card here, most likely. At least it's very unlikely that they would. So just in case they have the weapon, we'll freeze that phase now. If they have the harpoon, we can go phase. Let's see. Beast Hunter, finally a meta deck. Yeah. It is indeed. It's currently the second best deck in the game. It's better than Frost Death Knight. People just don't want to play such old decks for some reason. Sinajari. Do I want to draw a weapon? Anti-magic shell is kind of useful too. Too bad I can't play it this turn. We'll see if we can get to an anti-magic shell position. We'll see. Maybe it will be possible. They get the weapon now from this. There's also like hero power, anti-magic shell. Would deal 2 damage. Well, that rush was pretty sweet. That was exactly what they needed. Otherwise they wouldn't be able to handle the 4/4 alongside the rest of the board, but now they can. That was very, very unfortunate for me. But sometimes.
What is it?
This is miserable now. I can't let them draw with the peasant. That's really weak. Sadly, that's really weak. That's all I've got right now. So that's what we have to do. What do I need to win this game? I need like a Frigidara top deck. Something like that. I mean, they needed to roll exactly that Wild Spirit. And then they needed to be able to give... They needed to win the 50-50 roll and give it Rush. Both of those things had to happen for them to have a chance. So that's quite a bummer. Quite a bummer, I must say. But we'll see. I mean, it's still not over. They're at 9. I'm like one great top deck away from winning this. Still. So, the deck is full of outs. The deck is full of outs. But that wasn't one of them. So we actually did lose. This is a Shockspitter variant. 7, 8, 9 damage from those. 4, 7, 8, 10. I'm actually not dead. Because they don't have board space. I just must not play minions here. They do not have board space. This doesn't wake up yet. I might not die, because they only have 1 board space. Can they deal 6 damage with 1 board space? Looks like they couldn't. Oh my. Boom. Thank you for watching. Click like and subscribe if you enjoyed this, and a special thanks to all of my Patreon supporters, YouTube members and Twitch subscribers who make all of these videos possible.